Azad. Thank you for last night, for your leadership. It was great. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome. Ali was here as well as us.
Yeah, thank you, Ali. Thank you, Mehran. Thank you, Mohammed. Thank you all. All of you, as I said last night, all of you are great. And again, thank you. Okay, so
Are you in
tonight,
hospital or you're at
me,
home? Yes.
I'm not in our home, actually.
I thought you're in a hospital.
No, no, I'm not. Fortunately, I'm not.
Wish you
Okay,
the best.
thank you. Okay, tonight we're gonna talk about phobias. And the first question is this: do you know the meaning and the definition of phobia and what is that? And please let me know that who wants to start.
Meron is the first guy.
Okay.
Good.
I think phobia means that some fear without any specific reason. For example, fear about insect. Someone has some feeling about insects when he or she confront with any kind of animals or insects. He suddenly fear and has some kind of phobia about insects. It's just example, and I think it's not a good example, but phobia, I think it's related to some kind of thinking pattern. It's about psychological things. I heard about this word in Freud's books, and it's not a good thing. But some people have bad experiences in their life, and they just have some phobias about a lot of things. Justice.
Is it common among people or not? Just a limited number of people have such things.
As Freud said, it's common between people, but people aren't aware of it. They don't know about these phobias, and all of us have some kind of phobias in our mind that it's in our unconsciousness mind, and I think in psychological sessions, when you talk with your psychiatrists, maybe they found it in your old
Psychiatrist, I think.
memories of your childhood.
I think psychiatrist is not a good word.
Shrink.
Psychologist.
Psychologist. It has. We have some difference between psychiatrist and psychologist.
Actually, there are two sides of a majoring at university. The one that you said, I think means روانشناخت, and a person who tend to know about your thought and your feelings. But psychologist, it's more related to treat people. I think they are separated and two sides of subject.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
And with one of them, you just speak, but with one of them, you have to take some pills and medicine, something like this.
Yes.
Mehran, you wanted to say something? Excuse me, I interrupt you.
No, I forget about differences between these psychologists think. I I know that some other days I research about it exactly, but unfortunately I just forgot it.
Uh,
I can't
but
remember.
I think now Mohammad Raza said, now you remember.
No, I think it's not complete.
Uh-huh.
It's more specific than this.
Mm-hmm. So, okay, thank you very much. Ali, what about you? What do you think about the definition of phobia? What is that?
Phobia means fear of something and fear of being in some situation, and we don't have any reason about our fearing. And I think most of the people have some kind of it, but they don't know anything about their phobia, what is the name of phobia that they have. And I think to explain more than, for example, we have some people that fear of spider as an animal, and another example is that some people fear of height, and it's a kind of situation that you don't like to being in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there are different kinds of phobias. Do you personally have?
Yes, I fear of height. I mean the place that its height is maybe is about 15 meters.
Where 15 meter?
About more than 50 more than 50 meters.
You
The
are
place
afraid
that
of you are afraid of more than 15 meters?
yeah, actually generally I fear of height, but I mean not the short height. I mean the extremely high height.
Ali, I think it is really common, and maybe it's not a problem at all, because I have read that human beings are born with two natural fears. One of them is this, a height, and the other one is loud voice, loud sounds. Okay, these are two natural fears that each and every human is born with, and I think it is not a problem at all. It is completely natural. Thank you. Okay, Mohammad Raza, how about you? What is your definition?
Um, in order to answer you, I would have to say that really I searched it a couple of minutes before the session.
Appreciate it.
As
It's
I
appreciated.
Thank you. As I really I knew about it generally, but I couldn't talk and describe it as a subject. but I searched and find something about it that was really valuable. Um, um, it said it was saying that phobia is a fear of an object or being encountered with some situations. And it is categorized in three classifications. The first one was a specific phobia. It happens when you've got fear of some natural things or animals or something like that. It really happens as a result of your negative experience when you were in your childhood, and it's a result of that. The second one was social phobia. It's a phobia that you experience when you're thinking at every moment you're judged by the other people, and something like social embarrassment. Or the thing that I said. The third one that I think is the most negative one, and can be really harmful, and you will be damaged if it happens to you. It's agoraphobia. I don't know my pronunciation is true or not, but it happens to some kind of people that that an illustration can be a person who thinks at every moment their hands or body bodies are contaminated and polluted and need to be cleaned, or some persons that was
Obsession.
some people that have
Obsession.
obsessions about some
Is that a phobia as well?
yes, it was called agoraphobia. The third one that I think it was the most disadvantageous one.
And I will come,
and
John.
in order to add information about your question that was following the first one, I should say that in that article, it was written that less than 10% of people experience a kind of phobia. But I think the main professional ones, but some smooth phobia can be more common between people.
The professional, not strong ones.
Strong.
Yeah,
strong.
by that statistics, they mean the strong ones. That you said less than 10% of people. Yeah. Thank you very much. I wanna ask you later, but now I'm really curious about that. And have you searched about the solutions as well or not?
In that essay, just it was mentioned that the first one could be treated just by exposure therapy, It means
Animals,
that,
for example, the animals
for
phobias.
example, for animals, some people have phobia about spiders or some kind of animal that crawl. The first one can be cured by just exposure therapy, but for the second or third, the treatment could be a mixture of some
Medicine?
counseling and some pills or some treatment, I think is true.
Mm. Do you know what is the difference between cure and treat?
Current?
Treat.
Crit?
Treat. You said.
Treat.
Yeah.
No.
For
What is
example,
the
treatable, curable. You know, when you say, for example, this illness can be cured, means that this illness can be removed completely. But when you say it can be treated, means you can get along with that. You can deal with that in some ways. Means مدارا کنی باش. But cure means درمان. And most of the, as you said, based on my based on some videos that I watched on YouTube, I understood that most of the psychological, most of the mental illnesses are treatable, not curable, based on these days knowledge. You know, psychology needs to be wider and needs to improve more in order to cure mental illnesses, and most of them are just treatable, not curable.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for your information. Okay. I think it's Ali. Is it your turn or Mehran's turn? You don't know. Thank you for answering, واقعا. Really.
I think it's my turn.
Okay. Mehran, how can someone confront and overcome a phobia?
I think it's just about psychology and some person that have some kind of phobia must go and visit some psychologist or psychoanalysis.
Does it really work?
Yeah, I think it's working, and as you said, it's just treatment. We can't cure these matters, and I think it's about your memories and memories.
Not just memories, Mehran. Some of them are related to our genes, genetics.
Yeah, but we can't do we can't deal with genetic things. You know, it's genetic, and we can't change our genetic things. I think we must focus on the side that we can't do something about it. I don't know. It's very hard subject.
Yeah, it's hard. Yeah, it's hard, but challenging as well.
Yeah.
And You don't have to answer, okay? You don't have to answer, but you can answer if you want. Do you personally have any phobia?
Yes, I'm afraid about height and uh, the death.
Uh,
Any kind of
yeah.
death. When someone die around me, I just get dazed. I don't know what happened. What happens, you
Mhm.
know? That person goes where?
So, congratulations, because it seems that your mind and your mental situation is really good. Because both of them that you mentioned are really natural.
I don't know.
The fear of death and a fear of height are really natural and common among people.
But I overcome the fear of height with,
Great.
yes, by going to the highest place, high place, such as in شهربازی
Amusement park.
amusement
Amusement
park.
park.
Okay, amusement park, and um, place some vehicles there. Strange, I don't know what to say. It's a strange system of vehicle machines, I think. And
Yeah.
I focus on the other people. I just watch other people how they enjoy these things. I watch them and I envy about them, about this feeling that how they enjoy this situation. And finally, I, I can get it why they enjoy this. And I think
And finally, you could enjoy.
yes, yes, I enjoy, and I tried bungee jumping.
Oh,
That's very
really
that's very sweet,
exciting.
yeah, exciting things.
Do you have the video of that?
No, I don't have video and photo a lot about everything.
Were
I'm
you
not.
were you alone? Were you alone when you did bungee jumping?
No, I'm with my girlfriend.
So she could record something. She could take some pictures.
I don't know why, why she didn't do that. But that time I just want to experience this situation.
Really great. It is really surprising that you could overcome your fear and it is okay completely right now, and you are not afraid of height anymore.
No, I'm afraid of height now and then, but
It is
you
treatable.
yes,
You
you
could.
must manage this thing.
Uh-huh.
When you scared about height and you picture some kind of your death. But you must manage this thing and tell yourself that I'm not going to die. You know,
Mm,
just this.
very good. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, Ali, what are the solutions that you know for overcoming phobias?
I watched a TV program about how we can overcome to our fearing, and the solution was that they exposure the people who have for kind of phobia.
Exposure, you mean exposure?
Exposure,
Exposure. Exposure,
Exposure.
no,
exposure,
not
okay,
explosion.
Yeah, exposure.
exposure. they exposure people. For example, a person a person
Exposure,
fear
expose is the verb.
exposure.
Exposure is the noun.
Exposure is a verb.
No, expose is the verb. Exposure is the noun.
Expose. So expose. Psychologists expose seek people to the thing that the thing that he fear of. For example, a person who fear of a spider should be exposure to spider, but in the step-by-step way. For example, he exposure a psychologist exposure him at first with toys that are like spider and for improving after that he exposure a sick person to a real spider, and I think this way has a good result, and the psychologists could treat most of the people that have a phobia, kind of phobia.
Thank you very much. Great. Okay, Mohammed Raza, is there any other solution or treatment that you want to share with us?
Actually, I'm not an expert. I said what
No,
I
maybe you have
knew.
maybe you have read about
No,
them.
thank you. No, thank you.
Okay, so
I said
answer
all
this
the
one.
things that
Thank you. Answer this one. Are all phobias irrational?
in my estimation, not all of them irrational. As I said, less people, less than 10% of people experience strong phobias that I consider they are the irrational one of phobia. I think some smooth phobias or powerless phobias are more common in the between people.
Among people.
Among people or through people. As an instance, I could mention about myself. I'm really not a person that has got such strong phobias, but and I really don't care about natural phobias that you said strongly. But I think there is a powerless social phobia on my mind as whenever I'm doing something I consider someone is staying there and tend to watch me and or
Even when you're alone?
Some in some cases, yes, and or the other one could be some senses that some sense that I've got when I do something for the other people, as I place a high value on the other people that are around me, I could mention that I'm frightened of being judged by them in some cases. It's not really strong, but it is on my mind really and cannot be overlooked.
Maybe they are just your fears, not phobias, because as you said, they are not strong.
Yes, they are not really strong.
Very good, and I hope that you can cope with them very easily, and I'm sure that you can.
Thank you.
Okay, Mehran, are you ready to talk or not?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, are all phobias irrational or not?
I have some problem with this question because if phobias have some rational reason, it's not phobia.
Really?
Yeah, phobia by in literal meaning has no reason. If it has
No,
some,
I dis I agree to disagree with you, as I've heard about a new it cannot be illness, a trouble that is called mobophobia. As you know, most of us nowadays are sticked on our cell phones and we try and tend to check our phone even when there is no message or no call from the other people. And it's called mobophobia, and it's a kind of phobia. And I think it's not irrational.
I don't have enough knowledge about mobophobia, and thank you for your information. Uh,
You're welcome.
if is there any other question? I can answer. I'm ready.
Excuse me if I interrupted you. Excuse me.
No, no, not at all.
Mehran, so let me ask you the last question.
Thank
Someone
you
said,
about lost. Thank you about lost and not last.
yeah. Thank you for understanding that I tried to speak British because my accent is American. Okay, so not completely American. I try to speak American. Okay, listen to this sentence. Get the facts first, then panic. Is this a good advice for people who have phobias? Get the facts first, then panic.
And in the last part of the question, you asked what? Is this
Is this a good advice? Is this good advice for people who
okay?
have phobias?
Yeah, I think it's good advice because we have some kind of prejudge. I don't know it's the right word or not, but if we judge too soon about some situation that we confront, uh, maybe we have some misunderstanding about the situation, and if we analysis the facts that we have around that situation, maybe it doesn't need any kind of panic. That it's useless to be panic without having enough knowledge about situation. I think it's a good advice, and
Exactly.
uh,
Now your sentence reminded me of something. I think maybe some years ago I was reading an article about these kind of things, about phobias. One of them was one of the solutions was this: getting enough information about phobia, about special phobia, and I think I agree with you that it's a good advice. It's good advice. Thank you.
Excuse me, if you let me, I must go. I have some kind of a strange guest.
What do you mean, strange guests?
It, he,
They
com-
are.
he comes at a very bad time.
Uh-huh. No problem.
Unwanted guest.
Don't mention that. They may hear you.
Yeah, he didn't know anything about English. We can swear him.
Okay, so we wish you a great time and thank you
Thank,
for joining. Say hello to your guests.
thank you. Have a good night.
Have a nice time. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay. Mohammed Reza, what are you laughing at?